Welcome to the Health Party Team Call. Today is Wednesday, July 29th, 2020, pandemic times, and we're going to tell some stories today. So I was just starting, I forgot to hit the record button and told a little story about how one of my friends who had enrolled with us about a year ago reached out to me today and wants to renew. We sort of had lost touch with her, and Liz is going to kind of finish off that story for you, I think, because Liz has some info that I don't even know that she has. So this is new to me. Go ahead, Liz.
Well, I wanted to elaborate a little bit more. What Scott is explaining is one of his friends texted him today saying like, hey, listen, I'm interested in renewing my membership and I see that my bot expires in like a month. And the interesting thing that I wanted to bring up about this specific instance is her name is Amy, and she might hop on this call. If she does, I think that's awesome because he said he just invited her to it. But here is the key of like how the team can work for you. And when Scott met Amy, I don't know when he met her, but she enrolled last year in August. And that's when she joined the team, and I added her as a Facebook friend. So not only was she enrolled and connected to Scott, she was connected to me and everyone else on the team. So Amy got to see more than just Scott being involved. That's a huge key. She got to see another girl involved, which is huge. And Amy is overweight, and I started extremely overweight. So she also got to meet a girl social media wise that also had results with Beachbody. So like that was a huge key to like connect Amy to me. So like mad props to Scott for doing that. And I recommend you guys all do that. But with that happening, I was her friend. She got to see what I was doing on social media, whether that just be my personal life, but also Beachbody, things like that. I've talked to Amy one-on-one behind the scenes about her journey. Like she asked me how to make a shake. Like I just looked at all of this. Because here's the other piece about this, Scott, that I don't know if you know from her text to you today. Earlier this morning, I saw that Amy posted in the BOD members only page, and she asked like the whole world a question about like, what program can I start to do? And I made sure I commented on there, because I'm her friend, and there's also tons of strangers commenting on there as well. So
I was asleep.
All of that
I know nothing.
is
I don't
like
know
a
anything about that
process of Amy seeing what's going on, trusting the process, like maybe in this time, like things just didn't work out for her. She just had questions. She was a skeptic. I don't know. Or she just didn't have the money. And now she's interested. We're still here, and we're here to help her. And I think that that's the important part. And the team aspect can really help you in the sense that, like, say for instance, if you're not available, like if Scott wasn't able to help her, like I can help her, or Anna can help, or anyone. So just keep that in mind, because like those little things are going to translate into just having your business explode, honestly. So now you know, Scott.
Yeah, well, thank you. And Liz and I have been doing this for each other for a very long time. There's many times when people who are officially like enrolled under Liz have contacted me with questions, and I know there's more times than I even know where people who are like officially under me have messaged Liz. Just last week, she was like, is Jill Smith under you, because she just sent me this message. And then an hour later, she's like, oh, is Tammy Thompson under you? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what are you doing talking to all my people, Liz? And at first you get mad a little bit, but then, you know, we realize that we trust each other. We're all on the same team. Liz is making more posts than me at this current time. And these are mainly females who are in her age range, and they're relating to her posts more than mine. And everybody, we all have a different idea of how we want this to turn out, but I doubt that any one of us want to be available 24/7 for any question that anybody ever has on their time frame. I think that all of us want freedom, and you know what I mean? So there was, and this is going to be part of the next story, the Cup team story, but there was a time when Elizabeth would go to her job at 6 or 7 in the morning and go home from her job at midnight, and in the day she couldn't talk to her people. So I did, because I was just here all day waiting for someone to talk to. So it was wonderful. And it didn't hurt that she's sending me cute single women to sign up for her team. So it was like a match made in heaven. Liz was making the commission off the sales. We were building her team, which builds my team. People were getting fit and healthy. And she was, doing taxes and a little bit crabby, to be honest with you. But because she told you some of that story yesterday. She did the 21-day fix, beginning of tax season, January of what year?
2016.
Yeah. So thank God she lost 17 pounds in 22 days, because that was a mood enhancer. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
And tax season, generally speaking, is not a mood enhancer. Would you agree?
Correct.
Yeah. Liz is
pretty much anyone involved.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to go to work 18 hours a day and had to sit and weren't allowed to pee, you'd be in a bad mood too, right, everybody? Okay, cool. Well, hello, friends without video phones, Carrie, Summer, and Annette. It's okay. You can stay on video mute. It's not creepy at all. But it's nice to meet you, Summer. I've never met Summer yet. She's newer to the team. Uh-oh.
It's nice to meet you too. For some reason, my laptop doesn't let the video work. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a likely story, Summer, but okay. It's totally cool. That's like your rookie hazing. That's the hazing portion of the recorded call. Okay, so Liz, would you like to tell the story about Cup Team of February? What year again was it?
2016. So I am here to share my story of how I sort of fell into Beachbody coaching, because if you guys haven't been around for my entire journey, you of course don't understand that. Like, some of you just know me like right now as like, oh, she's a Beachbody coach. Well, that wasn't my always. So what it all kind of boils down to, Scott alluded to, I signed up to join Beachbody in like January 2016, and I started my first ever program. I was a full-time CPA. I had no intentions of ever working this as a business. I literally only signed up to be a coach because I'm thrifty and I love saving money, so I didn't see the point in wasting any money. Like, let's sign up for the discount. But I had no desire to work this business. I worked 16 hours a day.
I don't want to interrupt you too many times, but she's literally signed up to be a customer December 31st or 30th, and then became a coach 2 weeks later. Is that correct?
I became a coach like a week later because I fell in love with Shakeology, because I lost 10 pounds my first week. And I was like, oh my God, I need these shakes in my life. So that was pretty much why I became a coach. But in that, like Scott said, I followed 21-day fix without any intentions of actually doing it. I worked 16 hours a day. Even on Saturdays and Sundays, I put in 10 hours a day during tax season. Like, I worked every single day. I did nothing but eat, sleep, and breathe and work. So doing a workout was enough for me, but I did it for one round. I lost 17 pounds, and I was, of course, hooked, thrilled, and so excited to keep doing this. Now, it was around that same time that Scott had texted me, and he's like, hey, listen, I want you to be a part of my Team Beachbody Cup team for February. And my response to him was like, oh, hell no, I am your weakest link. Like, I weigh 200 pounds. I'm not a coach. I have no desire to do this. I work 24/7. Like, I don't want to be on this effing cup team. Hell no. Well, I didn't say effing, but I wanted nothing to do with it. Because I knew nothing about coaching. I knew nothing about even like a challenge pack. I only knew what a challenge pack was because I bought one and I got results. So I knew nothing about what we were doing. But I trusted Scott, and I realized that I could do it. So I finally gave in and was like, listen, fine, I'll join your team. Like, what's it going to hurt? That's pretty much like my bottom line is. Like, I mean, maybe I'll be the weakest link, but what's it going to hurt? At least I can say, like, I tried, right? So the great part about it was Scott invited, there's 5 people on a cup team, and most of you are already on a cup team, and you might know this already. There are 5 people, and that cup team, we really didn't know each other. So there were, Scott was one of them, and of course he's more of a seasoned coach than us, but the 4 other people on the cup team, all of us girls weren't full-time coaches. Like, we didn't really know anything about coaching. I'm not even sure any of us ever hit Success Club. I know I didn't. I don't think Tiffany Grace was another coach. I don't think she ever hit Success Club. In fact, Tiff has shared this too, that when Scott invited her to join the cup team, she said, hell no also, and wrote him a novel back as to why she couldn't be on a cup team. And if you guys don't know Tiffany Grace, some of you do, go look her up on Facebook and Instagram. What is she doing now? She is full-time Beachbody coaching. And 4.5 years ago, Tiffany and Liz both said hell no the first time they were invited to join a cup team. So, like, that's one concept I want you to remember and don't forget. But the whole idea of being on these cup teams is the fact that you work together as a team. Because my biggest problem was, like, I don't have time to do this. And Scott told me, like, well, that's the point of being on a cup team. You work together as a team and we all help each other. So, like, when I was sitting at work for 16 hours a day, I wasn't really able to do anything. I never even posted on Facebook, guys. Like, if I did, it was because I was going to Starbucks like once a week. So I wasn't sharing anything, but I had friends that were seeing my transformation happen on social media, in the sense that everyone knew, well, Liz is a CPA, like, she's working 24/7, like, but she just posted that her pants are falling down. And she just shared that, like, she has to get a different belt, and, like, her dad had to add holes into her belt because, like, I was getting results slowly, sharing that slowly, and my friends were all interested. So I wrote down a couple notes, so that's why I'm looking at what's going on here. The best part about it is, like, your cup team turns into this little success pod, because I didn't know how to, like, handle those people commenting or saying anything about my success. But that's why my little cup team, I could go to them and be like, oh my gosh, guys, like, I shared that my pants are falling down, and, like, all these people liked it and commented. And that cup team thread could help me learn how to talk to that person. I was able to connect them with Scott or with the other people on the team that maybe they related with, that they could talk to them while I was working 16 hours a day. And regardless, like, outside of cup team, I highly recommend this process as well. If you have anyone interested and you're not able to talk to them, feed them to somebody else, and we can get them in a group message, because, like Scott said, he's sitting at home a lot and he can talk to our people if you're busy or if you're at work, because if people are really interested, they're going to sign up with somebody. And if you don't answer, they're going to go find somebody else. So enough for that tangent. Inside of that cup team, though, the thread, like, Scott took the time to share with us, like, a simple little pro tip every single day. Because, like I said, none of us knew anything about coaching. I didn't even post on social media, guys. But there would be little tips that he would send to us, and he'd say, like, okay, today, why don't you go make a post on the social media that asks your friends a question? And then anyone that would comment, that turned into a conversation with a new person. So we just started having conversations with people.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
So, first of all, this is amazing. So please don't let me talk too long, because I want to get back to her as soon as possible. One of the important things is the algorithm. The algorithm means who you are interacting with on Messenger, Instagram, Facebook, in posts, in messages, and then you start to see each other's stuff more. So the pro tips that I was giving them were meant to help with their algorithms, because they didn't have any algorithms, because they weren't posting. The girls, you know, on that cup team, they just weren't social media people. They were private. Liz shared, you have to picture who Liz was. She was overweight. She was not a workout or fitness or nutrition person, and she was a CPA, and she liked to have some drinks with TV shows late at night when she'd finally get home. And for lack of, I don't want to like put her down in any way because I'm super proud of her, but she didn't have a lot of excitement going on of what you would think of as an exciting life to post about or to talk about or to brag about, like some people may do on social media. So when I said social media to Liz is like, I'm not posting on social media. I don't want to put anything on social media. And aside from that, I especially don't want to put health and fitness because I'm not a health and fitness person. I'm overweight. I'm not super proud of my body. My family will think this is weird. Who's this old man that you're with? If we put a post of us together somewhere, like, is this your boyfriend? So there's all kind of things that were going on back then. But the second and more important thing I want to tell you is the pro tips were also based off of mistakes that I personally made at the beginning of my business that I was like, I wish I would have known this when I started. And this is no fault to my team or upline because I started pretty much the same week or month that my coach started. So we were both brand new, and then we didn't really know. And there was no such thing as Facebook groups back then. There was no Facebook Live back then. This is before those things existed in May of 2012. So anyway, the things that I was dropping into the thread, I was just like, I really screwed this up back in 2012. Now it's 2016. We have these fresh canvases to work with to make a beautiful painting. So, and thank God they kind of listened or trusted me, and they didn't do every single tip or every single thing I said, and they changed some of them. But we had enough going on, and then she's going to probably tell you this. It seemed like a failure for week 1 and week 2 and week 3. It was not going very well. Go ahead, Liz.
So in our cup teams, like that little pod gave me and the rest of us like a safe place to learn and ask questions or just toss ideas back and forth. We started challenging each other with little challenges. And like Scott said, we didn't do all of the challenges because I'm sitting at a desk all day long, but I did try myself to like learn what I could outside of that. And like I would play YouTube trainings. Just Google Beachbody on YouTube, guys, and you can listen to the top coaches for hours and hours and hours. I would literally just let that play while I'm doing tax returns for 16 hours. I mean, if I picked up something, I picked it up. If not, like, okay, that's fine. But I would try to like learn a little bit because I'm like, I don't even know what Success Club is. I don't even know what Emerald Ruby means. I didn't know what any of those things were. So I tried to like learn little bits and pieces here and there. But I loved having that like private thread to be able to like learn and communicate and like bounce ideas off of each other. So please utilize that with your team as much as you possibly can. But like Scott did allude to this. So we were all talking for a whole month. And in that whole month, we're trying to get these cut points. Like Beachbody says, like, oh, you got to do all these things. That's how you earn points and everything like that. We were trying our hardest in the sense that I don't want this to sound like horrible. Like we weren't like going after people saying like, sign up, sign up, sign up. Like, I don't think I ever sent a message like that ever. I waited for people to say like, oh, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? So just having those conversations, people realized like I was happier. They saw that like I was sharing that all of my results, things like that. And that conversation, it takes a while sometimes that you're talking to people for 2 or 3 weeks. And then they finally say like, oh, you know what? Like, I think I want to sign up for this. So we got to the end of the month and it was very impressive because of the community and the like bond that we made inside of that little group thread. When it came down to like the last 2 to 3 days of the month, we had 0 people enrolled. But since we like talked to each other, we knew each other so well through that month, when we kind of reached out to people in those last days saying like, hey, listen, it's like the deadline to sign up for our group. Like, are you interested? We're doing this new group next month. And when everyone pretty much said yes, we were able to work together. Like I sent my people to Scott and he'd be able to enroll them when I was sitting at my desk for 16 hours. And I was in a group message with them, but I didn't really have to do a whole lot. And besides, I had no idea how to enroll anyone anyhow. So I was like a fly on the wall just watching, and he handled it. So it was great. With that being said, remember we all went into that cup team like not knowing anything about coaching. I barely even knew what a challenge pack was. I didn't know how to host a challenge group. I didn't know anything about ranks. We all enrolled 5 people that month. So the 5 of us enrolled 5 people. That's 25 new people that we helped, and they joined like our challenge group the next month. So if you're familiar with the enrollment, you also might realize like we all hit Success Club 10. Like that was huge. And we also, if we had not hit it before, so like Scott was already an emerald, I believe at that point, I think he was a diamond for sure. But we also all rank advanced to an emerald coach, guys, and you get points for that too during cup month. So like we knew nothing about this, but just simply the collaborating, the teaming up, all of those conversations that we had and little trainings that we tried to learn along the way helped us get to the point where people were like, okay, cool, we'll sign up and do this. And we used the tools of like a third party where I had Scott help enroll them. Always have someone else enroll them with you if you can, especially if you're new. Heck, I'm 4.5 years in and I try to have Scott help me enroll people all the time. So it lets them know that there's more people involved than just you trying to sell them something, because that's not it. Our job as coaches start after they enroll. So like we're not here to just make a sale and move on. We're here to help them get results. That's our ultimate goal.
One thing.
Yeah.
So that third person, there's a very important psychological element to that sales people usually aren't very good at this, because they come in and they just try and sell it to everybody. Sell it. So even if they're successful with some sales, that new person that comes in thinks that's what you're supposed to do. Sell it. But they're not trained as a salesman. They don't know how to sell stuff. They attempt to sell something and then they get shot down by objection in a second, because that's not what their life has been. So people who are generally better at this, they don't act like an expert or a salesperson. They just act like as a middleman, like, hey, I don't know everything, but my friend does. So let me connect you in a message because I'm kind of new. There's some new stuff that they might be able to get you a better deal than I can get you. And I do that still 8 years in. I pretend like I don't know answers often, because if I go around showboating and memorizing ingredients of Shakeology, then that person may think that's what you're supposed to do. And what I want to do is get everybody to come in and be a coach. Well, if they think they can't do it because they have to memorize things or beat people up or be yicky, that's not a word, ucky, yicky in social media posts, they're not going to want to enroll with us. You know what I mean? So I try to make myself the most commoner, normal, weird looking, not overdressed person as I possibly can, so that people say, that guy could make 100 grand, or you make, have 200 coaches on his team, or have 1,500 customers. If that guy could do it, anybody could do it. Now, I just lost you guys. Now there are some coaches, and this is totally cool with me, who take a different approach, and they put themselves as an expert. They want to be like the authority on health and fitness and nutrition and programs. And that's also fine. If you can stand up and do that and be strong and you have training in that, and that's where your heart is, then that's what I think you should do with this. So you don't have to do the way I think works best. And the only reason that I'm picking this method is because I tried to be an instructor. I tried to do this and this, and I was like, you know what? My people think they have to be an instructor now. And I'd rather help the commoner just come sit in the coach tree. I want everyone to sit in all of your tree branches, all of the people you know, the moms, the grandmas, the librarians, the accountants, people in wheelchairs, athletes, you know, everybody. So that's the image I'm trying to portray. I don't know that I'm doing a great job of it all the time, but that's my goal. Okay, Liz, anything else in your notes there?
Yeah, I have a couple more things, and then I have like a little list that I was going to share with you guys. So that cup month is literally like the catalyst that started my business, because I had no intentions of ever working this as a business. But I was like, I did it 1 month and like it wasn't even like working, not in my mind. Like it was like the fun time. So why not do it again? And I also realized that like we have an opportunity and we have a gift to share this total solution of Beachbody with other people. Like, guys, you might work with the old Liz Rettger. Like, she needs you. Like, it is our responsibility to share this. And I want you to understand, like, it's not your decision to make to not let them know about it. Like, they have to decide. We have the opportunity, share it with them and let them decide, like, if it's going to help them or not. And, like, if you don't ever share that with them, to me, I feel like I'm harming them if I don't even ever let them have the opportunity. So I have a quick list really quick here of like why joining a cup team is very important for you. That's why we wanted to like record this, is so we can keep sharing this video with people. But out of my quick list here, and then hopefully you guys can ask some questions afterwards, I just have a couple bullet points. It'll help jumpstart your business. You will, if you want to make an impact, but you don't believe that you have what it takes, that's why you need to be on a cup team. Your personal results will be better, even if that's like you commit to something for the whole month. And even if that commitment, it doesn't have to be like a Beachbody program. It can be that you're going to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water for the whole month. Like, commit to something, and being in that group will hopefully help you stay to your commitments. Number 4, you'll make extra money. That's just a little perk. It's not required. Number 5, you might be able to save someone's life, like Liz Rettger's. Number 6, you're teaming up, you're collaborating with other people. And number 7, this is the one that's really important that I think people in the back of their mind constantly think. You are not too old to be a coach. Like, we have tons of people that are very successful at this. We met a bunch of older women at Summit in Indianapolis last year that like are rocking this business. They're like super old. I don't want to like put them down because they're probably better at this than a lot of people. Go ahead, Scott.
They're in my cover photo right now on Facebook.
Oh, go look at his cover photo. But like, there's no age limit to this. Like, you need nutrients. If you're rocking out drinking a shake every single day, your friends probably need it too. Okay. That's pretty much all I had. Do you guys have any questions? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, one of the things she said there is this is meant, I think, to be fun. Like, this isn't supposed to be the normal job. Her normal job, she wasn't having as much fun as she was at this quote unquote job. So, you know, if this starts to turn into like a real drag for you, then I think we need to like fine tune some stuff so that it's not a real drag for you. There's a million ways to do it, and pick the ones that fill your cup of whatever love language you have or whatever. But go ahead. Yeah. Any questions? Great point. We have 5 minutes left before we get cut off. Or any additional thoughts, maybe something that you guys saw that worked for you, or didn't work for you, or.
I don't have any question, but I just wanted to say thanks for having this, because I joined Team Cup and I was like kind of unsure about what it was, and I want to start my business, but I kind of just got into Beachbody, but now I'm feeling much more confident about getting into this, especially during this month.
Awesome, Summer.
Yay.
Where do you live?
I live in Erie,
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Are you on Rachel or Danny's cup team?
I'm actually on Brandy's.
Brandy's cup team. Okay.
Yeah.
I had 2 strikes. That was my next guess. Okay, good. Okay. Well, yeah, all of us are, you're always welcome on my little, you know, cup team calls, which Cassie is the captain of my cup team. we want to all work together. So, if, Brandy, I'm sure is going to organize things for you very well and do a great job. So you can pass on the word, and I'll continue to invite all of them in the threads. We have a Facebook Messenger thread and my team page, but anything that we can do to help all of you guys, we're all here struggling through and figuring it out as we go and making mistakes as we go. And that's totally cool. And sometimes you're tuned out. Sometimes your season isn't that, you're not in the right time. And then you come and go and things happen, and there's good and bad. And it's all part of this. So welcome, Summer. We're happy to have you on the bigger team.
Thanks, Scott.
Anything else? Carrie just came back as a coach. Carrie, you want to say anything, or are you busy? Carrie's a coach under Gabby. Gabby's a coach under Liz. Liz was a coach under Danelle, and Danelle's a coach under me. So that's how we know Carrie. Carrie actually came to Summit with us one year.
Hi.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi. I'm at my office. I was running around back and forth. I didn't want to make you all dizzy.
Yeah, no
Now
worries. Will you tell us what your office? Oh, did she have to go already? Well, it was nice talking to you, Carrie. Carrie,
I'm still here. I'm on my phone. I don't know how to work it.
tell us what you do in your office there.
I do massage therapy.
Yes. So we have a massage therapist on the team. Carrie, her office is it near New Kensington?
Yes, it's in Lower Borough, right beside New Ken.
Yeah. So if you're ever over in the northeast, I think, part of Pittsburgh, look her up, schedule a massage. Annette, can you say hi? Annette works overnight. That was killer. I did that for a little while, and I didn't last very long. So she might have fell asleep. I think Annette's in Erie, and I think she's in that crew of Danny and Rachel. So I think that Rachel is Annette's sponsor coach. So we met Annette at a couple hip hop classes with Cam. And if you guys don't know, Cassie over here is from Canada. Cassie, do you want to unmute for a second? Tell us again what city or province, or I don't know what the words are. Where are you from?
I'm from Ontario. Ontario. I'm right near the New York State border. I'm actually just a block away from the Canada border.
Wow. And we said this yesterday, but for those of you that weren't on yesterday, Cassie is a total gift from heaven to me, because she is a coach lead who was gifted to me from Beachbody. And when you reach a certain point, you can receive customer leads. When you reach a different point in your business, you can receive coach leads. So what a gift to be given. And Anna, you can tell us where you live if you like.
Sure. So in the summer, I live in Clarion, and I'm a high school math teacher. So during the school year, I live in Pittsburgh. So my husband teaches at Clarion University, so we live separate because of our jobs, basically.
Yeah. So Anna's school